Hello and welcome to another comedian's interview for my blog and podcast, A Rich Comic Life. My name is Richard Gill and my blog describes my experiences of watching over 1,500 comedians for over 50 years. I'm delighted to welcome my guest today. It's the wonderful Lucy Buckley. Yay! Hello! How are you? You all right?
I'm very good, thank you. I'm very good. And yourself?
Yes, I'm doing really well. Thank you so much for being my guest today.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm honoured, honestly.
That's very kind of you. I'd like to go right back to the start of your comic career and ask you, please, how did you become a comedian in the first place?
So I kind of think the beginnings of it started. I used to come in from sixth form and university and used to tell just like daft jokes of something that had happened that day. Because I found myself being quite chaotic. And I'd be telling my grandparents about it. And my granddad just turned to me one day and went, "You should be on stage telling these jokes, Lucy." And I was like, "Okay."
And
And
that
I
was
was
it.
like, "Yeah." And then I was like, "All right." And then I think I didn't, it kind of just, it's like a little seed in my brain. And then I didn't really think anything of it. I just loved telling stories and the jokes and making people laugh. And then specifically my grandparents. And then I used to work at the Deep, which is an aquarium in Hull.
Yeah, know it well. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
really good.
it
Yeah,
is. It is. I must shout out to the Deep. I must go
yeah.
see the place. And I just loved working there. I used to do, so I was a guide, so I used to do the talks on the different animals. And every so often I'd throw a joke in and I'd see the parents and the adult visitors like react to it. And I just love it. I just love like knowing that I'd made those people laugh. And then a friend of mine who was a professional clown, and he's been on stage. He does poetry, like slam poetry, and he just said you should do comedy. And I just, again, it's a little seed in the brain, little brain, and then I left the Deep and then changed jobs, and then lockdown happened, and my friend who mentioned it did like a online poetry course, and again he said it, and I think because it was lockdown, and I think it's because everything was shut off, and it was kind of very living in the moment kind of thing. I kind of just went, do you know what? I'm going to do it because if I don't do it, I'll regret doing it.
Well,
And
I'm so glad you did because when we saw you, what was lovely to see was how confident you were on stage, and you were determined to make that audience laugh. You were so good.
Oh, thank you. Honestly, that means so much. Like, confidence is a thing that I've struggled with my entire life. And
Mm.
my kind of motto is fake it till you make it. It's all fake. Like, I have absolutely no confidence. Like, I get scared having to go and take a parcel back. Like, the
Oh,
anxiety that I get in just everyday life. But yeah, no, I kind of just like, I was just, yeah, completely faked it. But thank you for saying that. I appreciate
well,
that.
no, it's my pleasure. When I always go to comedy clubs, I always used to sit at the back of the audience because my laugh, which I should get insured, I thought would carry, and obviously it did. But then one day, my regular comedy club, which is always be comedy at Kennington in London, that the compere said to me, "Come and sit at the front," and I did, and from then on, all the big comedians got me in as part of the set, and as hello, Rich is here, it's so good, and I'm like, bloody hell, there's Josh Widdicombe, and there's Al Murray, and doing all that, and my confidence, exactly the same as you, shot up, and it's helped me so much in other aspects of my life. So it is a massive thing, confidence, and if you can overcome it, certainly by doing what you do, that can only be a good thing.
Yeah, oh, 100%. Like, I think it's for me, like doing it has made me so much more confident just in my office as well. There's like
Yeah.
140 plus people in my office, and like before, I used to be scared going up and making a query. That's just in my normal job.
Yeah.
Like, and now I'm like, I'll walk over there and it'll be I think as well because people know you do comedy, it's always a big conversation starter. Like, you're the king of comedy, of podcasting and viewing comedy. So like it's such a conversation starter for people. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
you love comedy, you watch it, you do it. So I think, yeah, it's massively helped like my anxiety and stuff like that, just socially as well. So yeah, confidence is a huge thing for it for
That's
comedy.
fantastic. I'm so pleased for you. So you're based. Am I right in saying that you're based in Hull?
Yes,
Yeah.
based in Hull, yeah. Yeah.
Right, that's fine. When did your appetite for comedy start? When was your first gig, basically? And do you remember the experience of it?
Oh yeah. So my first gig was online.
Wow.
Like, yeah. So this was what had happened is there's I'm not sure whether people have heard, but heard of this. It's like a comedy, a funny women.
Oh
They're
yeah, yeah,
a
yeah,
comedy
yeah.
group, yeah, run by Lynn Parker, and she's does a did a week long comedy course online,
Right.
and I just on a whim saw it, and I thought I'm gonna do it, and then it was like a week long thing, like a week long class, and it gave you all these different tips, how to construct material, how to be like not how to be funny, but how to be confident, how to come across on stage, that kind of thing. Really helpful hints and tips. Then at the end, yeah, I think we had like a 2 minute showcase. And that was my first online gig on a Friday afternoon,
Wow. Wow.
online in like March 2021, I think it
That
was.
must have been terrifying, even online.
Oh, I didn't sleep days before. I was sweating. I think at one point I said my name wrong. Bearing in mind, my name is
No. Oh
Lucy. Yeah.
no.
I was just like, what am I doing? And like the thing is, it was such a supportive group of women as well, and such an amazing like such judges. And I was just like, I rambled. I thought I rambled,
Wow.
but oh god, yeah, I was like, my mouth was dry. I think I had 6 pints of water before I went on. Like
Wow.
on, it was yeah, it was a toughie. And then I just did mainly like a trickle of online gigs then in the summer of 2021. And then 2022, my first live in person gig was at a speakeasy in Wakefield.
Wow. Well, you've
Yeah.
got to start somewhere.
Yeah. Shout out Wakefield. Yeah, that was really fun because I remember I couldn't start it though. Could not start it. I was like, I watched these two really funny comedians and MC go on, and I was like, how am I starting this? And I
Wow.
just went on, and I was like, I think I just turned around and went, hello, my name is Lucy. As if I was like starting some kind of weird PowerPoint presentation. Like, welcome to my TED Talk. I'm now going to tell you about my dating disasters. Like, it was just so, it was
Wow. Wow.
so
Wow.
like I could not have been any more monotone if I tried.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So there you are, bless you, doing your first ever gig, terrified.
Mm.
What possessed you to carry on? There must have been something that you thought, I can do this, and I'm enjoying this, and I'm getting laughs off this, and this is what I want to do.
I think it was because I'd gone on in beautiful sunny Wakefield, and I was stood there, and as soon as I picked up the mic and I'd wrapped the mic cord for some reason around my wrist, I don't know why.
Like a
I was like,
singer.
yeah, like I was like Adele about to blast out a power ballad. Like, who do I think I am? Some like weird diva from Hull. And I'd like wrapped it around and held onto the mic, and I was like, right. And I think just in that moment, like speaking to those people, and I was like, I had people's attention, undivided attention for I think I did 7 minutes.
Wow.
And I felt absolutely terrified, but also completely at home at the same time.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, a woman had come over to me, and I was sat because I took my best mate with me, Alex, for support, and just like just because I was like, if I know I'll make her laugh. And she's always been my biggest supporter and always laughing at me. So I was like, I'll take her. And we were sat there and she came over and she went, I've had such a rubbish day at work and you made me laugh. Thank you. And that's just stuck with me.
That's what it's all about. That's what
Yeah.
it's all about. I am an administrator for a council in London, and I love my job. But I go and I do my work, and they pay me so I can go and do what I want to do with the comedy. Going
Yeah.
to a comedy night, there is nothing better than cheering yourself up, sitting in an audience and waiting for the laughs. And when they come, you get to the point where you can't laugh anymore. It's joyous.
Oh God,
And
yeah.
it must be like a drug because
Oh, it is.
that's what I've described it from an audience point of view. When you get a laugh, it must be incredible. Or a
Oh
big
God,
laugh.
it's
Yeah,
oh yeah. Like if you get a laugh break
yeah,
and like you've got to stop what you're saying because they're laughing at what you said before. There is no better high
yeah, yeah,
than that
yeah.
ever. Like, and I just love it because I'm sat there and I'm like, you come off the stage and you're like, even if all your points didn't like all your jokes didn't hit as you thought they would, you still made somebody laugh, and just the physical action of laughing just helps
Exactly.
somebody so much. Like, and I'm like, I did that, me. Like, some little like
Yeah,
working
good for
class
you.
mom on it. Just me, like that's me. I love it.
It's
So yeah,
so good. My
it is.
my my home city is Carlisle,
Mm.
but I've been in London for 30 years, and I like the best of both worlds. I like to go back to Carlisle, and the comedy scene in Carlisle is okay. There are two theatres there,
Mm.
and years and years ago, I used to go up to Edinburgh from Carlisle to the Fringe. I still go to the Fringe, but when I first went, I got to know the promoter for the Free Fringe, and I said to him, "People think I'm quite funny in pubs. I can tell jokes at work and in pubs. I'd like to have a go at stand-up comedy, please." And he goes, "Yeah, yeah, no problem." He said we've got an old folks gong show in the Haymarket at Edinburgh on a Monday afternoon. It couldn't be worse. And it was all rainy and horrible. And I walked out, and there was three people in the crowd, three old fellas. And I walked out, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. People think I look like Eddie the Eagle Edwards, the ski jumper, but I can't see the resemblance myself. And of course, in his heyday, I was his double. One old fella, I thought it was a great line, and one old fella at the back just went, "Fuck off, cut me off." And the promoter said, "Have another go." I went, "I think my calling card's going to be in the audience," and so to be. Never say never again. But all of you have my utmost respect for doing what you do, because all you're trying to do is cheer an audience up. And if people like myself with my blog and my podcast can support you in any way, that's what we're trying to do, and it helps
Oh.
everybody. It helps everybody out. Um, Tell me what you like to talk about on stage. Do you have any specific themes or anything like that?
Um, Initially, I didn't. I wasn't like, I never set out to just talk about like one thing specifically. I think the wonderful thing about comics, and in me in particular, working class comics, like I think what happens is we have such a we're unique, but there is such a shared uniqueness that we have because we all go through the same thing. And I think
Yeah.
that's so wonderful about working class comedy. But like, I think as well, it's like that is what we're doing. We're on stage telling a unique experience, but everybody's gone through that experience. Like, that's what the wonderful, well, not just working class comics, but like also like any kind of comic, like we are on stage talking about something that's happened to us, but there's people in the audience going, "Oh my god, that's you," or "Do you remember that happened to me?" Like, and that's the wonderful thing about it. It's like I love it when like I try not to get distracted by the audience, but like I will say something on stage and then like I remember being in front of like three like young women about my age, like 25, 26, and I was talking about dating, which is like my main topic, like being single, trying to date, relationships, dealing with family members, like who like, just that kind of whole thing. being like the new adult, because like I'm 28, but there's no way. Like if somebody asked for an adult in an emergency situation, I would also be looking for an adult. Like I would not be thinking, oh, this is me, I should probably help. Like I would be like, we need to find an adult. It's like, you're 28, Lucy, like you are an adult. But like, yeah, like I would not consider myself. But I remember telling this joke about using the dating app Hinge, and this girl was sat in the middle, and her two mates just swiveled their heads towards each other and just went, "That is so you. Remember that guy?" And I heard them say it, and I was like, "Yeah, it's just like." Yeah, I've really got into a niche, but not so niche market here because everybody has got a single friend or family member who is on and dating right now on the apps, and it's just like, yeah. So that's kind of like where my topics kind of go.
When we saw you, and you were a entrant in the Hull What's On Comedian of the Year competition 2024, and you came third, which was so well deserved. So congratulations!
Oh, thank you, thank you. It was an amazing competition. Everyone was.
They were all brilliant, but certainly you were one that definitely stood out. And I agree. It's because another reason is because of the relatability. We looked round the audience and they were all going, "Oh, that's you," and we could hear it as you were saying some of the set. What is wonderful to see as well is again the confidence that you were on stage with. You're also very warm and very enthusiastic with the audience as well, and that's another great big quality. And I think if you've got that, you can then get the audience on your side and basically say what you want, get your point across. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so. I think I had got an amazing compliment that I'll always stay with him. He probably doesn't even remember him saying it to me, but it will stick with me forever. I might even get it tattooed on my arm. But Jed Salisbury, shout out Jed. He turned around and said to me, he was like, "Oh, he watched me once at a gig. I think it was the first time I'd met him." And he went, "Oh," he said, "No," he said, "You talk to everybody as if they were your mate on like, and you just bumped into him on the street." And I was like, "Oh." I was like, that is such an amazing compliment because, like, I think, like, I don't know whether I don't know whether that was something that I consciously did, but I was just like, I'm just gonna go out and talk to everybody as if I was telling them an embarrassing daft story, and I did just like, you know, I don't know if that was something consciously that I've done, but I think it was. I think you know, working as a guide at the D, going back again, like that did help because. Yeah. I just wanted to engage with the audience because we were trying to tell them all this information about a shark. And sometimes, even though you go into an aquarium, you don't always want to know what a shark eats. You're like, you know what? I'm just here to look at the turtles, look at the sharks and go home. But then, like, you know, you don't always want to learn something. But I'm like, if somebody went away with one fact and I said it on a microphone, then I'm all good. But like, you know, sometimes you can't force people to listen. But if you're nicer on the microphone, people will be like, oh, actually. So yeah.
You've got it in spades, believe me.
Thank you.
It was one of the most noticeable things, and I thought to myself, she's going to go far. If she wants to, if she wants to keep going, she's going to go far. So I wish you every success because it's so deserved. And talking of Jed Salisbury, Jed and Gary are two of the nicest people in comedy. I'd never met them, and I go to a lot of fringes and festivals. I'd never been to Hull. It's my second year at Hull was last year, and I go to Hastings in June, and they go there as well. And the act that we were going to go and see didn't turn up. So Chris and Jake, who run Hastings, said to Gary and Jed, "Would you mind going on in place of this act?" And Gary did. I think both of them were on stage, but certainly Gary was memorable because he walked out and he said, "I haven't got a clue what I'm going to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, for the next half hour or so. Has anybody got any questions or comments?" And I was with two friends of mine, and I yelled out. I'd never met him before. I yelled out. I said, "Can you tell me after eating 2 packets of crisps for 30 years why I've got diabetes. And the whole place laughed. And then he created the word from the word crisp, the most amazing 20 minutes I've heard. We were crying with laughter, and I thought this guy is amazing. So it is. Whenever I see them in Hull, they put a show on. They always give 1,000,000%, and they also support and help all the other acts that go on the festival with them. I've got so much time for them. Let's get back to you.
Amazing, they really are. Like, shout out to both Jed and Gary. They're like they are so wonderful for Hull, bringing that kind of culture and that art and that scene to Hull. They are honestly massive help and positive light in the city. And I think they just shout out to the pair of them. They're brilliant.
Very much so. Yeah. Because just finishing up with that, the amount of comedians that have come out of Hull that have gone on nationally, or Hull and the surrounding area, you've got Amy Gledhill, you've got Ian Smith, you've got Lloyd Griffith, you've got Louise Atkinson. It goes on and on and on and on, and it's so good. We had Hannah Margaret last year who did the show for this year. They just keep, it sounds horrible, but they just keep churning them out, and it's lovely.
It is. There's such a talent. There's and I think that's the wonderful thing about Jed and Gary, is that if they see it and it resonates with them, they're like, right, we'll take this person under our wing and we'll polish them up, and and we'll nurture them, and that is amazing, and it's so needed in comedy, but also like up north. I think just in general, we need that.
I love the northern working class as well. I am northern and working class, and I can relate to what you say, and I think it's lovely. I'm a massive fan of. Well, I first saw Peter Kay, for example, in a well before he was famous, in a little club in Manchester. He was fourth on the bill, and I laughed so hard at him I missed the fifth act, and I had to go up and apologise to Dave Gorman about a month later because I missed his act. He was the fifth on the bill. Anyway, can you tell me about
I love that.
Oh, it's so good. I've got so many stories. Tell me about your writing process for a routine or a show. How do you go about writing what you're going to say?
So I used to be like, right, I'm gonna sit and write and sit down, put some dedicated time to it. But I'm not. That's not what I'm good at. And I worked that out after, because I was like forcing myself to be funny, and I was like, this isn't working. So now I have to be quite active. So right. I would sit there and I was like, you will be funny, and I'd be sat there and I'm like, I'm not. I'm like, am I funny? I was sat here for 10 minutes. I've not thought of anything funny. So it was like, yeah. So I was like, you will be funny. Concentrate on it. And it just wasn't working. So I was like, I have to move. So I have to be doing something. So all my stories, everything I say on stage is 100% true. And it's all and it is authentic, mostly because I think the authenticity people can relate to more. Do you know what I mean? It's like that kind of thing. So what I'll do is I'll be thinking of something that's happened, a story from dating, a story from being at work, and I'll think about it and I'll be like, how could I say this if I was saying it to Katie, my friend, or if I was saying it to my granddad, or if I was saying it, do you know what I mean? And then I'll formulate it and then I'll say it to them. So I don't really write. I kind of formulate, but I remember what I've said, and then I'll say it to them, and I'll say it to somebody, but not telling them it's a joke, just telling them a story, as if I was, if we were chatting at a coffee shop, and then if they laugh, I'll kind of take note of it, and I'll be like, right, okay, and then I'll get my notes app on my phone or a notepad, and I'll literally just write the context of it. So it'll be like one word, so it'll be hinge guy, walking boots. And then I'll remember the story.
So you've got pointers. Yeah,
because it's I don't want it to come off as like a script. So I feel like that's not because genuine then. Do you know what I mean? I feel like because it's like a TED Talk then, and TED Talks are amazing, but you don't want to be talked at. Yeah. The audience want to feel like they're going on this journey with you as you're telling the story. And then normally when I'm driving to a gig, I'll be going through it in my head and I'll be thinking about, what can I start with and then how can I link it back round. But yeah, I'm not so much a writer as I'm more of a like a physically saying it out loud, pacing around, kind of like, yeah.
That's fascinating. So, would when you it's like doing it for the first time, isn't it? It's like when you're walking on stage, you want to give the impression that you're doing it for the first time to the audience. And so it's very, very natural, as opposed to, as you say, a TED talk where you're reading a script or whatever. It's fascinating. I can't imagine you ever having a bad gig because you're so warm and enthusiastic, as I say, on stage. Can you give me an example of a bad gig that you've had and also a good gig to counterbalance that? Your favourite gig and your worst gig, please.
Ooh,
if you've got one.
There is far too much praise there. But,
sadly, a lot of the comedians tell me that.
Far too much praise. A bad gig. There was like a number of one jumps out at me, but because it was bad for like a few different reasons. Like there was like technical issues and there was timing issues and it was a gong show.
Oh God, they are horrible.
Oh yeah, because you could I feel like they're great and they can be great, but they have to be so well organized. And it's got but you can feel the nerves from the comedians. Everybody's like on edge because they want to get through. But they're like so nervous because when you're doing a gig and it's like a normal gig, the audience is judging you, but they're judging you silently. They're like internally judging you. With a gong show, they're like, "You're rubbish. Get off the stage." Like it's a very immediate reaction to, by the way, you're shit. Like, do you know what I mean? It's very immediate.
I would never say that.
Yeah, no, never. You might think
genuinely, I wouldn't. You've got to give them the benefit of the doubt for having a go.
That's lovely.
Still positive.
Such a positive thing. If you could come to every gig that I do ever, that would be ideal.
Lots of comedians tell me that I would do it, but I just haven't got the time.
Oh, I love it. But yeah, it's like such an immediate judgment, and it's like, and your nerves are heightened. But I remember it was in Barnsley.
I love these places.
Love it. Like literally, and I remember being at work in the office that day, telling, "Where are you going tonight, Lucy? What's he?" I'm like, "Oh, it's a gong show in Barnsley in a fucking man's pub," and they were like. Every part of the sentence they were like, I'm not going to react positively to that because every word in that sentence looks like this is going to be doomed to failure. And I was like, no, I'm a eternal optimistic. I was like, I'm going to be fine. It's going to be good. Blah, blah, blah. I was like really thinking for it. Did my whole thing, pacing around beforehand. Did my little script, like my little run through in my head before I did it, like my 10 minutes in the car, trotting along with my little 23-year-old Ford Fiesta getting on the M62.
I can see it now.
Yeah, and I'm chatting away to myself, like little Percy pigs in the car, shout out Spencer's. But it's like all these little bits that I was like, going through and working it out. And I was like, yeah, it's going to be fine. Internal optimism. And then we got there. The host was already drunk before we got there.
Oh my God.
We had nobody knew what was going on. Like we didn't get talked through what was happening. Oh. There was like 11 people in the audience. Wow. I was thinking, my joke's gonna go down here. Like the age range, is it gonna, like, we're on about apps and dating, and the age range was very different, and I was like, I don't know,
and it might not work.
I was like, maybe it won't work. And I think the reason it stuck out with me was because there was the way that the room was set out directly to like the left of me. There was a man with his missus, and I just went shit and held the red card. And I was like, all right, that's me done.
And good for you. There's no
Yeah,
point in doing it. There's no point in
literally,
doing it.
no, but I was like, do you know what? Fair play to you, mate. It wasn't me best. It wasn't me best 5 minutes. I think I did 5 minutes. I was like, do you know what? You're right. It wasn't me best. I'm gonna just gonna leave.
And you've heard of Millikan's Law, I presume.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
if you do have a bad gig, you start again at 10 o'clock the next day.
yeah.
Forget it and move on.
Oh
Keep
God,
moving on.
yeah.
And I always say to the comedians that I can imagine you must all have to have a bad gig in order to become a better comedian because it's all experience.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
oh God, yeah. Like I remember doing a gig. So I'm in Anlaby in Hull, and there's a wonderful comedy club in around the corner run by Stu Napier, and I did it, and I was trying my hardest to make a joke about a girl's holiday to Ibiza work, and I was trying my hardest to make it work, and it just wasn't hitting. And after that joke, again, my best friend Alex was with me, and she was like, "You did brilliantly," and I was like, "No, I didn't. I'm rubbish. I'm gonna quit." And she was like, "No," and she would not let me quit. She was like, "Lucy, you can't do
Never.
that." I'm like, "It's just not working." Like I was in a dire strait. You could not talk me out of it. I was like, "That's it. I'm done." And then literally, I think I did a gig 2 weeks later, and I remember that one being just magic. There was just something in the air. It was just magic. I think it was in I can't remember, it was in Leeds, and it just worked. And I
Brilliant.
was like, "There you go." I was
So
like, "I don't know
so
what it was."
that's a worst and a best.
Yeah, I think my
Brilliant.
best one was Hull. What's on Comedian of the Year though.
When you got third. Yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah,
was
yeah.
there was something in that. Even if I didn't get there, which I was very very shocked and honoured to get, I was happy with that 10/11 minutes that I did. Like
It
yeah.
was superb. It was tight. It was joke packed. There was a story to it. There was an arc. It was wonderful.
Oh,
So
thank you. I really
well
appreciate that.
done.
Thank
Um,
you.
just in passing, what is your view of competitions? Do you think they're a good thing for a comedian?
Yeah, I think competitions are brilliant for lots of different reasons, and I massively would implore anybody, regardless of I think if you think you're ready and you want to do it, I would hugely recommend
Yeah,
comedians to do it. And I would think if you're a promoter in a city, I think 100% get behind and try and find some places to sponsor it. Like I think it's a huge amazing thing for comedians because it gives you that accolade that you can say that you were in a competition, you got to the semi-final, you got to the final, but also to say to put it on your comedy CV, because I think
yeah,
when you're applying for other gigs more, as you go move levels up and up and up, like it's such a wonderful thing to have on your comedy CV. And I think it's so good as well just for confidence,
yeah,
because it's not so much swagger or arrogance, but it's just a bit of belief in yourself, that
yeah.
you've
Good for
done
you.
so
Yeah,
far. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
100%. I would, yeah, implore anybody to go for it. And I did. So you think you're funny at Edinburgh semi-final in
Yeah.
2022, and
Well
it was
done again. That's
yeah.
fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was amazing. It was my fourth ever live gig, and
Wow.
yeah, I don't know why I did it. When in hindsight, I was like, but I think I was just like, live with no regrets, just do it. And I loved that experience, being in the fringe, like immersing myself. It's my first
It,
time I'd ever been.
it is
And that
incredible.
was, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
God, it was. I hope I get to go back this year. Fingers crossed.
Well, we're going to talk about that in a minute. I've just got one or two things before that. If you were given the opportunity to come and gig down in London,
Mm.
would you do it?
Do you know, I was asked this question actually just before Christmas, by a comedy pal, and I would 100% love to do it. I would love to. I think London is such a bucket list item for me, comedy wise, and I think they've got such a rich scene that I would honestly would love to go and gig in London, for whatever whoever
Okay,
would take me.
so you're saying you're happy to gig all around Britain if necessary. You're happy to go wherever. You're not just
Yeah,
constrained to Hull. You can go
no,
wherever you want. Because do you
yeah.
drive? Do you get around by driving? Is that right?
Yeah, so I have my little 23-year-old Ford Fiesta,
I
and
think you do a new one because you mentioned it 4 times.
yeah, yeah. I was like, I remember, I love I will happily drive anywhere, and I will take people.
That's
I've
great.
given like rides and things like that, and I've car shared with people before. Or if I couldn't drive, I would try and get some sort of public transport, which isn't
Okay.
always easy. So I would give a huge shout out to any comedian who is on public transport because like we don't have the greatest links
No.
in the UK for that, and it is expensive. But yeah, I remember sometimes I drag my little brother with me, my little cousin slash little brother, like, and I remember him being in the car and he was like, "Oh, where can I plug my aux cable in, Lucy?" And I was like, "Oh,
There
in this
isn't
car
one.
is old. Like there is no cable. Like it's the CD player or it's like the radio. There's one of two options, or it's me. So you can listen to me recite my what I'm going to say in like an hour.
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah,
two.
yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
No, I would go anywhere that would have me, honestly.
Great. That's fantastic. How do you cope with any nerves before you go on stage if you get them? Do you get nervous?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Right.
I'm kind of like I think performers in general, like comedians, dancers, singers, actors, I think we're all quite superstitious as a breed.
Yeah.
And I think we all have our little run throughs. One of mine is I tend to give myself a little manifestation chat in the mirror. So I'll excuse myself and go to the toilet. If this comes, like when this comes out, there's going to be promoters that are going to be like, "Is that why she goes?" Like, I don't believe I will go, and then I'll wait for the stalls to clear, and then I'll just go to the mirror and I'll be like, "You've got this. You can do this. Laugh funny." And it's like, and I'll just give myself a little pep talk in the mirror, and then like I give myself a little,
And you do
and
it.
then I'm off. Yeah. But yeah, that's like, and I'm a bit of a stretcher as well. So like sometimes I'll be bobbing by the side of the stage and I'll be like, doing the old neck stretch, a few little shoulder rolls. Yeah, that's how I kind of channel it. That's like my two main things.
Would you say that when you walk onto the stage, or when you speak into the microphone, or when you get your first laugh, any nerves that you may have had go?
Yeah, because I think it's like the way that I kind of see it is like I remember once being so nervous. I think this was like I think I did a gig in where did I do it? I did a gig in Leeds, and I again didn't know how to start it, and I was so nervous. All I could think about was the first line, and then once I'd said that, I could not even tell you like what the first line was because I'd thought about it that much that I got so nervous about it. I'd said it, and then once I'd finished, I was like, oh, "I'm fine now." I was like, I was there. I can do this because I was like, I overthought the first line so much. I was like, "What am I? Why?" But like, yeah, it was.
Wow.
Yeah, the nerves kind of go once you get that first big laugh, and I'm like, right, okay, and then I just kind of like sink into it then because I'm like, this. You know what you're gonna say. They don't. But you know what you're gonna say.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
like
You're
singing.
away. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's lovely. Um, let's move on to Edinburgh. I am very very fortunate to be able to go to the Edinburgh Fringe every year. I go there for a week and I see about 50 shows, and I get a battered liver through all the drinking, and I come back and I need another holiday. But
Yeah.
it is the most amazing experience of creativity,
Mm.
and I've branched out, so I don't just go to Edinburgh. We're recording this podcast in January 2025. We've got Leicester coming up in February. That's the first big fringe of the year. Then I go to Brighton, I go to Hastings, and I go to Hull.
Mm.
There are loads and loads of others. There's Bath, there's Nottingham, for example. I'd love to go to. Tell me your experiences of fringe festivals in general, in particular the Edinburgh Fringe. And what I mean by that is, as going as a punter, excuse me, as part of a show with comedians, or your own solo show, or whether you would like to write your own solo show.
So my first ever experience with Edinburgh Fringe was August 2022. The So You Think You're Funny semi-final. And I just felt like a massive imposter when I was first there. I was like, why am I here? I was like, I am so out of my depth here. I was like, I am
Wow. Oh,
so,
wow. Yeah.
yeah. I was like, what am I doing? I was like looking around and I was like on the set and there was these all around the UK and there was a girl from Ireland as well. Like she'd flown across in order to do it. And they were just, you could so tell they were just on it. They had pieces of paper. They were like, in like with their notes on it, and they were like, you could see them doing the pre-show rituals, and I was just sat there like, oh my god, Lucy, this is your fourth ever gig, this is live streamed, there is like 100 people in this audience, what are you doing? You are I was so
it gave you confidence. Well. That's what it gave you.
I was like, what can I do? So I was just really delusional because I was sat there and like I was like, I don't know what I'm doing here. And I said this to Owen, like my little brother, and he was just like, he just in his little like 18-year-old brain, he was just like, he was like, because you've made it. And I was like, yeah. Let's just be delusional about it. So I was like, I made it here. I did this. I worked hard for this and my 4 live gigs. So I'm gonna, So that one of the most amazing experiences. It was so because the thing is as well, what I love about the Fringe and Fringes in general, because I've been to Hull to obviously a few times. One of the most amazing things about Fringe is that it is for comedy, run by people who love comedy, and it's comedy lovers who go to see it.
Yeah.
Like sometimes when you do a gig, you'll do a gig in like a bar or the back of a restaurant or in a pub, and it's people who've just popped out for an after-work drink, and then all of a sudden they've been roped into a comedy night.
Yeah.
And they've got a very much like assertive, almost like, well, make me laugh then. You've interrupted the work drinks, so you best make me laugh.
Yeah.
There's like that kind of vibe.
Exactly.
Whereas with a Fringe, it's comedy lovers that go to see it. Yeah. So they're very much like, they've got a different vibe to them. They're like, okay then, as you were. And it's like, I feel like that's kind of the vibe you get with a Fringe. It was an amazing experience. I loved every second of it. And I did Hull last year as well. In 2023, best of Hull, obviously, because we're from Hull, so we don't pronounce our H's. And that was an amazing experience. Again, Jed and Gary putting their all into running it. It was brilliant. I got to see Lucy Beaumont's mum.
Brilliant.
I'm really sorry, I forgot. I know that's not what she's called, but I forgot her name. I think I'm so sorry. But yeah, and I just got to see so many comedy pals as well perform and be an audience member. That was brilliant. And then obviously I was there this year. So yeah, it's just there's a different vibe to a Fringe. It's it's very much a very lived experience. I love it. Yeah.
One of my favourite places in the world is the Pleasance Courtyard at Edinburgh, and you go in and there are comedians and comedy fans everywhere, and I sit down on my own, and then what I do is I plan meticulously whichever Fringe I'm going to. I'm very nerdy. Plan whatever shows I'm going to go and see, and all my friends come and join me. So I have friends up from Carlisle, I have friends up from London, and they all come and join me. And 2 of them are with me all the time. And so like I normally get there first, and I just look around and I think this is incredible, and because of the success of the blog and the podcast, it's gotten to the point now where if I'm running to a show, wherever I am, but mainly in Edinburgh, the comedians stop me and go, oh my God, it's Richard Gill, can we have some of your time, can we have a photograph? And that's just insane, you know, but it's lovely. And that's what I love about it. It's like everybody is trying to promote themselves as best they can for the goodness of creativity.
Yeah.
That's just magical. And it's such a positive thing. What's not to love going to a comedy show and having a laugh? You know, it's so great. It's so good. So long may it last. To date, what has been your comedy highlight? I think I know
Um,
the answer to this.
I'm
Being
like,
on
oh, I
this.
wonder. Hmm.
It's this.
It's this moment right here.
It's not
Moment in
this.
January. That's it. Do you know what? I've peaked. I'm gonna just quit for the rest of the year. No, honestly, I would love to say that it's the third place, getting third place in Who What's
Of
On
course it is,
Comedy
yeah.
Festival of the Year. That was such a special moment for me, just for so many reasons. It was the best I feel like I've done it. And also my grandparents, my 80-year-old grandparents had come to see the show and
Just
honestly
amazing.
stole it. So I'm still kind of mad about it. I'm not gonna lie. There was seven comedians on. Sorry, seven comedians on, and the only people that anybody was bothered about was my 82-year-old grandfather and my 80-year-old grandma. To this day, they still talk about how amazing it was,
It
and
was, it was.
yeah,
It was
no, but
incredible.
honestly, it was an amazing moment for that because it was just such a amazing atmosphere and everybody was so good and everybody brought their A game and yeah, it was just that was a real comedy highlight for me. But I think as well, I did a gig in Sheffield in the Ship Inn with Daniel Innes, shout out Dan.
Yeah.
And he, bless him, we have this like little running joke. Every time he sent me a day, I could not do it. I was like, I just feel like you don't want me to be in Sheffield. Like, why are you trying to gatekeep Sheffield comedy scene from me? But he was just like, when I got there and I'd kind of thought out a bunch of new material, and I was like, right, I'm going to do it, wing it, why not? And I did it. And then afterwards, the feedback, I think there was about maybe 14 people in the room. So not a massive crowd, but enough to kind of gauge a reaction for it. People of different ages and the positive like feedback that I got. And then afterwards, Dan was so lovely and so supportive. And he came through on his word. He was like, right, I've got this gig for you. I've got this gig for you. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. I'm going to get you this. And literally completely like changed the way like my gigging, so I'd like branched out a bit more into like West Yorkshire, not just band. Oh no, I've branched out to Sheffield now. But no, that was an amazing one for me because I'd I tried some new material and I was so nervous about it. But yeah, and I kind of just like thought, kind of like, fuck it, why not just do it? And that kind of attitude, I'm like, that was in June, and for the latter 6 months of the year, that attitude and that positivity from that night, I have tried to bring to every gig, and I've noticed the difference in my gigging. So that was quite a special one as
That
well.
is so wonderful. That's a fantastic answer, and I'm so pleased for you.
Thank you.
And keep going with the positivity because I can clearly see just from talking to you. I feel as though I've known you for 10 years. Just talking to you,
I know,
it's
right?
you're so natural to talk to, and that was the other thing. You're you were in a sense born to be a comedian. I'm so pleased you chose to do it because you're so natural on stage, like I am just talking to you. You're very funny, you're very bright, and it's magical qualities. It's so good to see.
Oh,
Um,
thank you.
who are your favourite comedians? Who makes you laugh?
Oh God. I think there's some fantastic comedians, that quite well known, famous ones, but also like local ones that I absolutely love. I love Sarah Millican.
Oh,
I've read her book about 3 times,
yeah, I've
and
got
yeah,
it
I
over there. I've
used
got
to
loads
love.
of books.
Yeah, oh God, I love it. I think she's so amazing because it was. I remember reading her autobiography and how she talked about like her writing process and how she kind of got started and things like that. And I love that she's just on stage. She's just like she kind of walks on, and then she's anything. And she, I remember her saying like people underestimated her, and that is the best quality because
Yeah,
she's on stage and she's just like she's just straight into her jokes. She's like do, and I just love that. She's so naturally funny,
yeah,
and she's got such a she's
that's a
so
great
witty.
shout.
Yeah, love Sarah Millican. I love Sindhu V.
Yeah,
I think she's brilliant. I think the way that she's so unseriously serious is just brilliant. She's just like her witty comments about her husband and her kids
Yeah,
and her
family. Yeah,
family. And
she's brilliant.
yeah,
Yeah,
she's
yeah, yeah.
fantastic. I love Ashlyn B as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, love Ashlyn B. Again, fantastic comedian. She's just, oh, she just makes me absolutely howl because she's just the way that she can tell a story and link it back right at the end. You think she's gone on a huge tangent, but she hasn't, and then she brings it back around again. Brilliant. Peter Kay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I've got some old Victoria Wood and Walters.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm like their Victoria Wood's writing style may she rest in peace, is insane. I love watching her old clips on YouTube and seeing how she seeing her little songs that she writes, and amazing. And then like local ones for me, Jed, amazingly funny, witty, like love him to pieces. He's fantastic. Also I know that I've got I love Mer Gilligan.
Yeah.
Very, yeah. So they're just a few.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
There's so many good shouts.
yeah.
I first saw Victoria Wood in Carlisle. She is much, much, much missed. And what is magic about her, certainly live, is a bit like Ken Dodd. She will take time to research where she's playing and make a
Yeah,
joke about it, so the audience love her. So she walked on and in Carlisle, and she said, "Ladies and gentlemen, you were supposed to get Joan Collins tonight, but Joan Collins has to play a little fish and chip shop in Silloth." And Silloth's about 10 miles from Carlisle by the sea. So you got me instead.
I love that. I
She was
love
just
that.
brilliant. And Sarah Millican does that as well. I saw her in Carlisle, and she had a few local references as well. I first saw Sarah Millican in Edinburgh play a little tiny hut well before she was famous, and much more live than on TV, and I much prefer to see her live. She's filthy. She's got this innocence, but she's so filthy with it. She can get away with it, and I
I
love
love
that.
it.
It's just like, well, this happened, and I didn't really know.
I
And
love it.
I love comedians with innocence. My favourite one at the moment is Josh Widdicombe. And just
Yeah.
when he goes, do I like that? No, I do not. It's always so kind of
Yeah.
go.
Oh, I
Um,
love stuff like that. I think it
yeah,
was I remember Dan Innes like did introduce me for Yellow Arch Comedy Club in Sheffield. I think it was June or July, and he turned around and he said, he was like, she looks really sweet, but you won't believe the filth that comes out of this woman's mouth. And I was like, oh my
I
god.
love that.
Like, I was like, oh god, and that literally came on stage, and I was
Another great one for that is Lily Phillips. She's
ooh,
fantastic.
yeah,
She's filthy, but lovely with it. You can't fail not to like her. My one of my favourite female comedians is Kerry Godliman. I think she's fantastic.
mm,
There are so many. My first ever gig was aged 7, and we were on a family holiday in Scarborough, and we went to see Les Dawson, and he's
uh,
still top 5. And my grandma, God bless her, was late for the show, and she had to crawl down in front of the stage, and he took the mick out of her for the rest of the night. And as an encore, he walked on. He said, "Ladies and gentlemen, we're very privileged to have the chairwoman of the Scarborough Women's Institute in the audience tonight." And pointed at my grandma, who went purple. And he went, "Today's her birthday. She's 111, and I'd like you all to join in with me and sing happy birthday." So he starts singing, playing badly on the piano. Everybody's joining in, and halfway through he goes, "What? Oh, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, she's not 111. She's ill." And the curtain comes down, and that was the show.
oh, that's
And I
brilliant.
thought,
That's brilliant.
there's something here. I love this, and I'm so privileged to be part of it because I've seen so many. There's a section on my blog called "The Ones That Got Away," and top of the tree were Morecambe and Wise. I would have loved to have seen them. I've got all the books and everything about them. But just recently, I've interviewed Eric Morecambe's son on here,
Oh yeah.
and that was phenomenal. With him chatting about what it was like growing up with such a comedy legend, and I
Mm.
think all these great comedians from the past, they're a step above because they don't do anything when they go on stage. So Eric Morecambe might twiddle his glasses, or Tommy Cooper had the fairs, or whatever, and you were laughing before you realised, and they didn't do anything. And you think,
Mm.
how good can you get to that? But certainly when I first came down to London, it was in the 80s. I saw Frank Skinner, French and Saunders when they started. Rick Mayall was very good. There's so many of them, and then
Oh
now,
yeah.
I mean, I go 2 or 3 times a week. It's just it's in my blood. It's
Mm.
incredible.
I think it's so important as well, like to know the history of British comedy,
Yeah,
because it's like you have to understand where we were, what happened, how we was able to kind of accumulate into like the comedy culture we've got in the UK at the minute.
yeah,
It's like it's so amazing. Like I remember watching Lenny Henry's Channel 4 documentary. Oh my God,
yeah. I
like
saw that. It was superb.
yeah, it
Yeah,
was amazing. And he
yeah.
just, again, I'm 28 and I'll have these conversations with people in the office. We work with many different ages in the office. It's like, and they'll be like, well, how do you know? And I'm like, because to me, comedy, history of comedy is such a fantastic
Yeah.
like window to kind of understand comic culture, because there is nobody better than the Brits.
Oh,
Maybe
without a
the
doubt.
Irish and Australians, maybe we're coming like all three of us kind of together, but there is nobody better than taking the absolute piss out of themselves. Like we
Without
don't
a
take
doubt. Well
anything
said.
seriously. Yeah, we don't. We never take anything seriously. We called the Platinum Jubilee the Platty Jubes, like, and that was like a major, huge, like the coronation was the Corrie Nash, like because we live the cost of living. Like we don't take anything
No.
seriously, but it's been embedded in our comedy culture since the beginning. So yeah, no, I love learning about the history of UK comedy. It's
That's
amazing.
so good. Like me, do you go to a lot of comedy shows as a member of the audience?
I try to. I do try to. I Hull is quite. We've got. Who did I see? We've got like the whole comedy club. And then we've got like local ones around us. So I do try to go to as many as I can. I love going. What I'm very, very lucky to have is because I am a comedian, I get to see all these different comedians at different stages. So
Yeah,
it's like I remember seeing Josh Sedman, shout
yeah,
out Josh. He was brilliant. I saw him. When did I see him? In October of 2023. And then I saw him at the comedy festival, I think a year later, and the difference is outstanding in what
yeah.
he did. Like, and I love that I'm able to see people's growth and see people move and go forward. So I'm lucky in that regard. So because of that, I'd love to go to more, but I don't always am I able to, between working my unfortunate day job and then working my
Damn.
second job, and then right, and then yeah, so I'd love to go to more, and I probably will try more this year. But I am very lucky that I get to see, as an audience member as well. I like to see comedians out there and doing what they do best on stage.
If you're on a bill of say 5 acts and you were on first, would you stay and watch the rest of the acts?
Absolutely. I always try to. It's quite rare that I would leave. The only reason I would leave is if there was a reason for me to be up the next day and I had to be back. But I would
Yeah,
always stay. I
yeah,
think I just look because I love comedy. I'm a
yeah.
big
You
fan.
and
I
me
love
both.
doing it. Yeah, yeah, well, yeah. But yeah, it's like I love watching it. I love watching as well, like a comedian. I watched a guy do his first 10 minutes back in September, and he was shocked that he'd made somebody laugh, and I loved it. He was like, ooh, and then he
That's
carried
why you
on.
do it. Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, I just loved it. So yeah, I will always try and stay and watch the full bill, unless it's quite rare. But unless I had to leave for a work commitment or something the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what does the future hold for Lucy?
Oh, well, every year I try and have a little comedy bucket list that I like keep to myself. And I'm like, I'll just go through and I kind of, what do you want to do this year kind of thing. But because this will come out probably like a little bit later on in the
Yeah.
year. I hope by the time this comes out, I've done a few gigs, Manchester, Newcastle, hopefully made it down to London, and I'd love to do Edinburgh Fringe if I can. Even if I just go as an audience member, I just
Yeah.
would love to go back and soak up the atmosphere. But I would
Well,
absolutely, yeah, I'd love to go
it
and do
would
it.
be great to see you there. It would be
Oh,
great to
thank
see,
yeah,
even if you're just a punter and we
yeah.
can just chat more like we've done for the last hour. I've had the absolute great time talking to you. You've been a
Me
fantastic
too.
guest. You've been so
Oh,
good.
thank you.
Just
Thank you for
before
having
we
me.
go, what's your social media handle so people can know?
So it's on TikTok, it's at Lucy Buckers Comedy, and Instagram, it's just at Lucy Buckers.
Wonderful. So, okay, then you take care. You're an absolute major talent. You really are, and you deserve every success. I really mean
Oh,
that
thank you so
because it was
much.
so good. Thank you so much for your
Thank you
time
for having
and
me.
all the best to you. Thank you.
And you see you soon.
Bye
Bye.
bye.